I'm delighted to be joined today by Alexander Downer, who is Australia's Minister for Foreign Affairs for a record-breaking 11 and a half years. Since 2014, he has been the Australian High Commissioner here in London. Now, so I can start by asking Alexander whether it is true as reported that Australia is keen for an early post-Brexit trade agreement with the UK, and what you see as the most difficult issues in the negotiations.
Well, first of all, we are always up for free trade agreements. The ideal would be a world which is a free trade area. The second best is a series of plurilateral trade agreements, and the third best is bilateral trade agreements, and the worst thing to have is just a world of protectionism. So we take what we can get. We hope to negotiate a free trade agreement with the European Union, and with Britain leaving the European Union, we're very happy to negotiate a separate free trade agreement with the UK when the time is right. What will the difficulties be? Well, I imagine one of the difficulties will be the British government weighing up how it should handle the issue of agriculture. Though in the main this shouldn't be a problem for Britain, because we wouldn't be looking at huge markets here for beef and lamb, which are the two most sensitive areas in agriculture. On the other hand, there could be good markets for us in areas like sugar and horticulture, and we're not competing, particularly when it comes to horticulture. We're not competing with the British citrus industry or anything like that, which doesn't exist. So those things might be quite easy in the negotiations. Overall, I think it could be quite an easy negotiation with the UK.
And what UK sectors do you think would benefit from a UK-Australia trade agreement? In other words, what can we sell more of to you?
Well, you never know. You never know a couple of things. First of all, you never know what business is going to do. And it's not virtuous for politicians or commentators or journalists or academics to be trying to work out what should be sold. It's just that businesses, knowing there's a free trade area between Australia and the UK, will start to orient their thinking towards the Australian market and start examining the Australian market in a different light. But at the moment, your biggest single export to Australia is motor vehicles, and so there's a tariff on car imports into Australia that would disappear. That will make you more competitive with people like the Japanese and the Americans who have a free trade agreement with Australia. So that's an example of a sector that could do quite well out of it. Your financial services sector will continue to grow in Australia too, no doubt. I suppose the second thing to say is our experience of free trade agreements is that the money follows the trade. So with our free trade agreement with the United States in the 11 or 12 years we've had that agreement, our trade has grown with the United States by 50%, but our investment, two-way investment with the United States, has grown by 130%. So I think you would see a significant increase in British investment in Australia and Australian investment in the UK. And, in a lot of ways, that's going to create more jobs and more prosperity than just an increase in goods trade.
Alexander, thank you for sparing the time to join us today, and thank you for your insights on what is a matter of vital national interest for the UK.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure.